and we'll be submitting to GDQ the Celeste Lockout Bingo. And I'll let my commentators, or our commentators, introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Jax, or Alan Jax.
And I'm Akka. I'll be commentating this for you. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and pull the players out from here and get started.
Alrighty, so Celeste Lockout Bingo is a 1v1 format of playing speedrunning Celeste, in which the players have 25 objectives on this board that's currently hidden. I can reveal that in a second here. And their goal will be to start from a new file and get 13 of those 25 objectives.
So 13 out of 25 is the majority of the board. We don't give bonuses for lines or anything like that. The person with the majority of the board wins it, so it becomes a game of mind games between what objectives you expect your opponent to be going for and generally trying to play around that lockout ability that you have. The other aspect that is very important is that we do allow delays, which means that once you have completed an objective, you may choose to tick it off immediately or choose to hold it until a time that would be most strategic for you. There's also some custom progression involved with this, if you want to talk about that, Jax.
Yeah, sure. So to introduce a little bit more non-linearity, each player has one assist skip that they may use at any time, and then Chapter 4 unlocks, in addition to 5 as normal, also unlocks Farewell, so that Farewell is available mid-game. Chapter 5 unlocks 6 and 7, and
4 is unlocked from the beginning of the game. You only need to meet the 4 hearts requirement in order to enter it.
Yep. And with that, looking at this board, early I see objectives like Forsaken City Blue Heart, Golden Ridge Cassette, Grabless Start of Foray. These are pretty early objectives that the players may be looking to get. And with 25 objectives on the board, it's important to consider the spread, like where they are in chapters and where you can find synergies, like playing B-sides, getting binoculars, or getting berries.
Early on, there is a very basic synergy that you may be able to see here on the bottom right of the board. You'll see that there's 5 berries in 4 chapters, 3 seeded berries, 15 berries in 3A, 20 berries in 5A, and get a 1-up in 5A. These are a decent time investment each, but if there's a chance to make progression on multiple objectives, they can seem more valuable for our players.
Yeah, and as you can see, there's just objectives generally involve getting lots of different collectibles within the game. So you're going to see these two demonstrating lots of game knowledge, pretty broad game knowledge at that. And since it is Celeste speedrunning, also trying to play the game as fast as they can to complete the objectives before the other player.
A big goal of Celeste Bingo is sort of to force the players to improvise a bit, to route on the fly and do things that you might not see as commonly in other Celeste speedrunning streams, just because the popular categories don't involve them.
Right off the bat here, we do see Creep getting Forsaken City Blue Heart and choosing to delay it, it would seem.
That is an interesting choice.
And I think that's because they know Crab is not going to go for an objective like that early. And it also sets her up to get blue and red in Forsaken City later and work towards hearts. Is there a core objective on this board? No.
What was that last thing you said? Sorry.
I don't think there's a core objective on this board, but it does work towards that blue and red in Forsaken City.
Definitely good early synergy to signal. So that's another important concept that we have in terms of like sort of the inverse of the benefit that you get from delaying is the benefit you get from signaling, which is that you may deter your opponent from getting progress to an objective that you have already declared progress towards. With that said, I don't see any great synergies for blue and red in Forsaken City unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, the only thing really
5 B-sides in the late game.
And 2 binos in 4 chapters. Lots of B-sides have 2 binoculars.
this board, I'm not seeing immediately what the main synergy that someone might go for in order to get the early advantages here. Do you have a thought here, Jax?
I think progress is very strong, which is why we've seen Crab play like a fairly any percent city and get a little bit ahead of Creep here. With Golden Ridge Cassette, Blue and Red and Ridge, Golden Ridge Cassette setting up for Blue and Red and Ridge, that's nice synergy. And Crab is one of the bingo players who may be familiar with doing that cassette grabless for grabless start of foray. But he may also choose to just skip that because there's also a lot to be gained by getting into Temple first. 3 seeded berries can be finished in 2A, 4A, and 5A. Get a 1-up in 5A can happen early there. And there's also more objectives like 20 berries, kill a seeker, and so on. 2 keys in 2 can also be done in like 5A, 5B if you're not playing 3A. So there's a lot to be gained by getting to 4A and 5A first on this board.
Mm-hmm. I do think I feel like might go 5B here with Seeker and 2 keys and 2 chapters. What else am I looking at here? As well as the summit objectives that I'm seeing here in terms of 1k and 1.5k gems and all berries, as well as 2 binos and 4 chapters being kind of a summit objective. But here we see Creep finally mark off Forsaken City Blue Heart, which I'm not sure what that signals to Crab now. I feel like what I'm wondering is if you were delaying it until now, why bother taking it off now, except for the reason that it's a convenient time because Creep was stuck in a skip cutscene animation.
Delaying an objective even arbitrarily like that can help to sort of confuse your opponent's conception of where you were. Because they had one idea of what you may have been doing, and now with that late tick, that may change.
We do see both players opting to skip 3A here, the Celestial Resort. That the chapter is long, and quite frankly, it doesn't have the most appealing objectives here.
Yeah, there are some objectives in there. There's a Theo cutscene in which we actually do see 3 Theo cutscene objectives, which is quite unusual.
Wait, there's a third one?
Yep. Theo and Crossing, 2 optional Theo, and all 4 Theo.
Oh.
But you only need 3A for all 4 Theo. Both of these players could get the first 2 Theo objectives by doing it in 1A and 2A. I hope Crab does not get locked out of this Golden Ridge Cassette objective. He shouldn't.
Oh!
Okay.
you nearly jinxed him there.
And Creep elects to skip it and save the time on progress. Getting the seeded berry instead, that makes sense. Both players electing to do that.
Oh, got the stamina refresh, but didn't trust it. Or sorry, the dash refresh.
It may be worth noting that Crab got the Bino here. I don't think it's too impactful because there are 3 binoculars in 4A, and the second 2 are both fast to come back for. So I don't think that matters too much. Both players have been setting up for 5 and 4. Creep getting that.
I was gonna ask about that actually. Do you think that they should be going any stronger or any weaker on 5 and 4 right now? If anything, I feel like it might be good to be slightly less conscious of it right now.
Yeah, with such little berry synergy on this board, I think it's probably best to skip it. But it can be hard to do that because it feels like such a fast objective. But yeah, with important races in 4A and 5A, I guess the 4A races have passed. Both of those objectives were at the start of the chapter. But yeah, a lot can happen in Temple here. I'm curious to see how the objectives get split, if they do get split.
Yeah, at the moment though, this is very much a progress race, I feel. So now would be a good time for a couple donations. In terms of 6 winged berries, where can you get that with a 3A skip?
I think, honestly, that happens when you go back to 3A, or Crab did get the 2A winged and 4A winged, so he's set up to get it in Summit, I guess. Oh no, missing paused block list.
Nearly hitting the block list.
Creep going back for Theo
coming
and
back
Crossing.
for Theo and Crossing. This is an interesting choice. I think this is a read that there's not enough synergy on the board for Crab to take advantage of if you give up the progress advantage. And potentially you can play a game of I have more objectives and I'm just going to play what you're not. The only thing is you sort of need an information advantage for that sort of strategy to work out as well, and I don't know if Creep is going to be able to get that in the late game. Going back into 3A as well.
Very interesting.
Interesting choice. Maybe there's something we're missing here. I do still feel like this is a progressy board to me.
Well, now this sets up for 5 and 4 early because you get it before 1, 2, 4, 5, which Crab is going for if he's doing that objective. It sets up for 15 berries in 3A, 6 winged. It gets you that before you can do it elsewhere.
Yeah, this might be nice because then you just go back and get jump on 10 snowballs while Crab is continuing to do progress because he thinks you're doing progress, and then suddenly you have an advantage towards 3 objectives and you have 4 objectives, and then your late game decision making gets easier.
Yeah, I wonder if Crab can spot this anti-progress play. Crab is one of the best players at intuiting what their opponent is doing. But
absolutely.
Creep may be able to effectively hide that information still.
Oh, wait. You don't need the what's it called? The setup from the other room anymore for Yasek?
Well, she skipped getting that berry because it's slow, and then I guess apparently knows a hyper bunny hop setup from that room, so you don't need to do the screen transition.
Very nice.
It's news to me. I had not seen that before.
I mean, that is a bingo only strat right there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or a most red berry strat, which is a made up category that people like to play.
Crab winning 5 and 4 and 1 up in 5A.
That's 5 and 4 already? That's impressive. And that does weaken Creep's potential anti-progress play here.
Yeah. Whoa, what was that snowball bop? Did you see that? He was just like chasing it out of the room. That was really funny.
Managed to get it right before the transition too. At this point, does Crab have any reason to continue in 5A after having gotten the 1-up in 5 and 4? I guess you have 20 berries in 5A, but I don't think... So, I guess if you expect that Creep is also doing progress, you continue going for berries here. Or no, you go 5B, right? I think either way
Crab's
you go
going
5B.
into 3A because he has 5 winged.
Oh.
Yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all. Because Creep at this point has indicated quite a bit of non-progress.
Yeah, ticked off jump on 10 snowballs, Theo and Crossing, 2 optional Theo cutscenes. It is a very good call for Crab to go back and get this right now, actually. There is no urgency anymore on Crab for continuing progress. Crab now knows that Creep is not in Temple, or can be pretty confident that Creep has not entered Temple yet.
Yeah, and Creep missing
said,
the 1A winged berries as well. This is losing her a lot of time.
Yes, this is unfortunate. I really think that once you see the get a 1-up in 5A tick off, you need to keep holding on to your non-progress objectives. You cannot tick it off until you've gotten progress towards 6 winged. Like, that information advantage is the reason, like, giving away that information is the reason Crab is able to make this play right now.
Right, yeah, I see what you're saying. Although I'm not sure if the timing would have mattered, since Creep did wait 40 seconds after 1-up in 5A was ticked before ticking snowballs.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's possible Crab just comes back to do this anyway because there has been no progress indication from Creep since... I guess Creep did mark off Theo and Crossing earlier as well, so there is the non-progress indication, and there has been no other progress indication.
And here's the thing, too. Crab knows how to read...
6 wing turned purple, though.
Oh,
6
what?
wing just turned purple.
Oh my gosh, was Crab delaying it?
I'm not sure. Crab's past the first winged here.
Yeah, which should have been their 6th. Bizarre.
But this sort of pushes, like, Crab no longer has a great reason to stay there. Potentially can get 15 berries in 3A, but looking at the 6 wing tick off with the knowledge that you're pretty sure Creep hasn't entered Temple, you expect that Creep is ahead of you to this. So with that knowledge, Crab makes the decision to go back into Temple, which I think is the right call. I just don't know if that punish has put him too far behind.
Does he need to get 2 keys in 2 and 5A? I think 5B might be too slow. If he gets locked out at 2 keys in 2, this is a really, really rough position for Crab.
In saying that, it is 5-4 right now. It is quite close. It's in the objective numbers, but Creep has a really good setup here to basically force Crab into playing a long amount of time for potentially like 2 objectives that he's going to get in Summit.
Yeah.
Which is rough.
Crab is set up really well for 8 winged in Summit, but the other 2 objectives are not fast there at all. I guess 1,000 meter and 1,500 meter gems isn't bad.
Yeah, while you're going for 8 wing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, Summit is not super
Killer
strong.
Seeker on the way here.
Yep. So we're gonna see Crab get 2 keys. I think he beats Creep to this.
Yes, I think this should be fine.
Yeah. Creep's not even in depths yet. And it turns green. Okay.
Yeah. 5-5 on the board. It's getting close to us talking about win conditions and how we disrupt those win conditions. Right now, Creep has signaled progress to things such as 15 berries in 3A, all 4 optional Theo cutscenes. I suppose arguably complete 5 B-sides, even though no actual B-sides have been completed on their behalf. But aside from that, I'm not seeing much that, like, I'm not sure how this play ends up, because we're going into 5B, what is this, a minute and a half behind, close to 2 minutes behind. Creep is forced into the late game still, I believe. So I don't know how that play makes its win condition at this point.
Is that true?
I think so. Okay, you can get 15 berries in 3A, all 4 optional Theo cutscenes, 5 blue hearts.
Orb and Pico 8. She's advantaged towards blue and red in city. 20 berries in 5A. Grabless start of 4A. The problem is, and as we get further in the match, this will become more obvious that as like the first 15 objectives are ticked, the remaining ones are quite diverse and spread out and take a long time to do. So like,
it's quite easy for Crab to come back and steal one of these and then push Creep into the late game, right?
Yeah, I listed 6 objectives or 7 objectives that would get her to 12, but losing one of those and then still needing, one more on top of that makes it hard. But we are going to see her do 1B now. I think this makes sense. Just sort of give Crab more time to reveal like what he's doing so that Creep can then counter it. And this is an objective that she does
make its
want.
way towards 2 objectives, so I think or 3 objectives. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong. I would love to see reach an intro car in Farewell.
For binocular synergy?
Why does it say an intro car in Farewell?
Because there are multiple.
Where are the other ones?
The other one is at the wave dash tutorial.
Oh right. So if you whiff the one at the end of the room in Remembered.
Yeah, it's an accessibility thing to allow players to get that one.
2 and 4 in Farewell with reach intro car. Potentially, like if you can block Crab from 2 and 4, which I do think at this point Creep should have the advantage towards that, and you then create 2 more potential objectives for you. That's enough in theory to get to 13, even if you lose one non-progress objective. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is creep favorite at this point. I still feel like it's a better position for Crab, because Crab sort of has the agency in the situation, whereas Creep's objectives are relatively static. Now would be a good time for a couple donations.
So true.
Oh, I shouldn't do that. I can do that on when we get on GDQ, because I'll be synced with the game audio. That's Crab's third bino, so Creep should be solidly ahead for this one. So what does Crab actually do then? We've talked about Creep's win condition and how that can be denied. What is Crab's win condition and how does Creep deny it?
So Crab gets 3 from Summit, including 8 winged as part of that. Creep going in for Grab a start of 4A. I think this is really smart. Just getting more fast objectives. I don't know. I feel like Crab kind of needs to snipe stuff like... Well, Blue and Red and Ridge, he's advantaged towards currently, but Creep may get the cassette while here.
Yeah, I think seeing this Blue-Red in City take off, it's possible complete 5 B-sides may become relevant in the late game, so I kind of want to see Blue and Red in Ridge get ticked off, but I don't know if you follow that logic as well.
So Crab going for 8 winged here.
Is this Pico? What if this is Pico as well?
Maybe, yeah. I did notice that after getting the 3A start winged, he did finish the checkpoint.
Yeah, I do think that was the right call. I think it's important for the late game here. There are multiple objectives that this is relevant for, including Pico, the wing berries, 15 berries in 3A, complete 5 B-sides. Sort of 2 binos in 4 chapters if you do 3B.
Yeah, and 3B is a fast B-side, and if you're trying to set up for all 4 optional Theo cutscenes, it's not that far out of the way. I don't know if Crab is going to try to set up for that, though, knowing that Creep very, very likely has 3A progress with the early 6 winged.
Yeah, as well as seeing the Blue-Red in City tick off is a 2 binos in 4 chapters signal.
Yeah. Kind of surprised to see the instant 4B here, but if this lets Creep win 2 binos in 4, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty good. You get to tick off Blue-Red in Ridge soon, and you get 2 binos in 4, and then it starts to suffocate the board a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Once you're at 9 like that, you do have Intro Car and Farewell as something that you can sort of have as either your 13th or something that Crab at some point might be forced to do and waste a bunch of time.
With Crab not going Pico here, he is setting up for 15 in 3A and Theo cutscenes, which I find interesting. And Creep, it is worth noting, Creep has not unlocked Elevator Shaft.
That is important. Good point. I'm really like, it seems like Creep has ditched progress in every sense, and I'm really interested in seeing how this pays off, because as we mentioned, there are 13 objectives here. I think we actually counted 14 that were possible for Creep, but with Crab back in 3A, I think this is like a scary position for Creep to be in.
Yeah, she's really pushing this Blue Heart objectives and Blue and Red Ridge.
If you have donations, by the way, you can just jump in whenever you want to. Okay. So Crab is committing for the 15 right now and going into Elevator Shaft. Creep in 5A. For what reason?
Blue Heart.
Oh, Theo cutscene?
Watch Creep's screen here, by the way. We get a very, very cool strat. This is Depth's early key. A pause buffered strat with multiple frame perfect inputs, retrying for some reason.
Creep exploded.
But yeah, very, very well executed from Creep.
And the 15 berries and 3A turns green. This has brought it down to there theoretically just being enough objectives for Creep. Oh, Crab. Hold on now. We got something going on here.
Is Crab gonna go for the blue heart? Okay. I think this is okay. It's time loss, but I think it's okay. Because essentially, with 3A and 5A, Crab is sort of making a rush for all 4 optional Theo cutscenes. And if, with Creep going back into 4B, he does have time to, like, get this heart, even though it's probably not going to end up amounting to anything.
Yeah, I mean, 5 blue hearts being on the board is, like... I think it's really nice for Creep's route, and it's just inconvenient for Crab.
Yeah, Crab does have 3A heart, and I think that's it. And yeah, Creep ticks it, and apparently was delaying it.
Yeah, Creep ticks it off a little earlier than the full delay, but gets enough out of it, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So now with Crab committing to this, I think we can pretty confidently say he's looking at Theo cutscenes, summit objectives. And that only gets him to 11. Yeah, this is tough.
5A, so.
Yeah.
Cutscenes, 20 berries in 5A, summit objectives, and then if 2 binos and 4 turns purple.
Which I think will.
You get intro car. Yeah, 2 binos and 4 and blue and red and ridge are turning purple. But you can play the 50-50 with intro car and Pico. And I think that is winning the game for Crab. I'm not sure that.
Oh, you're saying if he also has 20 berries in 5A?
Yes, if you count 20 berries in 5A, 1K and 1.5K gems, all berries in 2,500 meters, and all 4 optional Theo cutscenes. Which I think 20 berries in 5A is going to turn green. I think the summit objectives are pretty locked for him. The only thing is that takes a lot of time. So if Creep can get one of Pico 8 or intro car off the board before then and force Crab into gambling with one of Creep's safe objectives. And as I say that, Creep is going into farewell. Wow.
Yeah, so
dash trigger skip attempt.
With this point in the match, you can see that a lot of objectives are sort of, from our perspective, spoken for. As a player, it's a lot harder to know that. And because you get the information from ticks, but you don't know exactly what players have done where all the time, or how much time they spend in each chapter. And so making judgment calls correctly in the late game can be challenging.
Yes.
So I'm very curious to see how Crab plays this end game, because I think at this point Creep is definitely favored.
I think Creep going into farewell is a good call here. I think she needs to delay it. At least delay the intro card tick off if you commit to this. But realistically, I expect you get to 2 binos, you get the checkpoint, and you leave, right?
Probably, yeah. That'll be 1B, 4B, farewell, 4A. I think she may need to go back for 4A. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I believe we saw her stay in 4A a little bit past a grabless 4A start in order to grab the second bino that she needed for it.
Cool.
Having a little trouble with the end of what's it called here? No, it's my favorite checkpoint. I can't say what's it called. Singular.
The Akko checkpoint. Yep. So Creep marks 2 and 4. Crab. Honestly, with Crab's game sense, he may know that this is a farewell play.
Yes, I think you need to wait a little longer with this tick off. To be honest, I think
it's so risky to delay though. It's so risky.
No, yeah, it's so hard with knowing that Crab likely has summit progress. It's really hard, especially since the last tick off from Crab was 5 minutes ago with 15 berries in 3A.
Yeah, 2 and 4 is one of my favorite objectives actually, because of how varied it is. And that's why it's hard to delay it. Yeah.
It's just unfortunate because I think if Creep had waited a few more seconds, Crab would have felt compelled to tick off Theo cutscenes.
Maybe, yeah. But now, like, clearly she's been playing chapters with binos, which is not 3A,
Yeah.
5A.
So Crab feels no need to do so. And this also means that he doesn't have to commit for 20 berries. Though, with that said, Creep can go and try and take that one, and that changes the dynamics of this this match entirely.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to if Creep finished depths. If she didn't, then she's got to finish huge mess, depths, unraveling before getting access to the 2 remaining Theo cutscenes. So I think it's impossible for Crab to know this, but I think he needs to be more worried about 20 berries in 5A. And then once you've got sufficient progress to that objective, you just tick Theo cutscenes at some point, hoping that Creep is in like huge mess or something.
I also think that Creep may be thinking about 20 berries right in 5A right now.
Yeah, we'll
but
see.
I wonder, like, if they didn't get if they didn't unlock, what's the word? What's the checkpoint after deaths?
Central Chamber.
We're going into 5B.
So this is more B-side progress, I suppose.
That's true. Complete 5 B-sides.
Also,
could be a
shoutouts to
defining
that
objective of this board.
Paused multi-boost that Creep just did. That's a really hard strat. Very well done.
Was that multi-boost direct corner?
No, it's a new strat that you may not have even seen.
Oh, okay.
It's a pause multi-boost at the start of the room that you then corner boost out of the room without doing Bub's drop.
Oh,
So it's like
that's sick.
Dread Corner with Omega Swag.
Oh wait, Crab never got this cutscene after going through. So Crab didn't have all 4 optional Theo cutscenes until now.
Yeah.
I thought Crab did this cutscene when he went up here. But no, he chooses to tick it off immediately, which I think is kind of it's potentially fair, because even though the 2 and 4 tick off happened for Creep, you can potentially argue that Creep could have spent a decent amount of time in 3A, and in terms of the amount of time that Crab spent on miscellaneous stuff, Creep could be back in 5A, but as we can see right now, she is in fact in 5B.
This is interesting. This is giving
Pico.
Crab time, which is super important.
Yes, but this potentially could lead to one of the summit objectives getting taken here. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed by this choice. I really liked the play that Creep was leading into earlier in terms of the farewell progress. I feel like the way you cash in on that is by doing Pico, because then you get to sort of select between Intercar and your other objectives depending on where Crab goes.
Crab has now ticked the summit objective, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So Creep gets this as B-side progress, and then probably will not enter summit.
10-10. This is super close. It's been even nearly the entire time in terms of objectives. I love how we had completely different routes from both players, and they're still competing so strongly here.
Yeah. As far as game state for late game here, Creep getting a head start into depths is pretty massive, because she's significantly advantaged towards farewell and 5 B-sides.
Changing her mind, though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Making the wrong read. Oh, we get the Pico tick, though.
Oh, but the tick off was immediate, which I think is fair.
Yeah, Crab hasn't seen anything in like 4 minutes. Cannot blame him for not delaying that objective. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and they quit out simultaneously. And we're both going to 5A.
No!
Creep going to summit. Oh, wait. Is there enough if you get this? Oh, this is such a commitment, though. I don't know if you can stop Crab's win condition at this point, because once Crab gets 20 berries in 5A, well, I don't know if Crab can manage complete 5B sides, right? So
Crab hard commits 2.5k after
Yes.
this, and then
Yes, Crab's
Creep
gonna
is
play
banking
20
on
berries
that.
in 5A, and then hard commit all berries 2500. I think that's what I would do if I were in Crab's position.
And think about the
then once
information
I'm at
Creep
12
has. Crab got 5 berries in 4 chapters with what was almost certainly Temple. And I don't think Creep has many
Oh.
berries in Temple.
This is so doable. This is really doable.
What a
It
heads-up
all
play.
It all just banks on Creep's execution in Summit pretty much, and Crab's execution on these 20 berries. Whoever gets the lead to 2,500 meter berries potentially could win the entire match. I mean, I think they likely will, right? I don't know if it's winnable if you lose that objective now, but I don't know if Crab can realize that in the current state, because he has to commit for this right now.
Yeah, like, I think Creep goes farewell after Summit, but I don't think that's enough time for Crab to catch up to 1B, 4B, 5B progress.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Creep didn't unlock, what's it called? The elevator shaft.
Yeah.
Creep didn't unlock elevator shaft still. So there is
Wow.
still a world. I think so the thing is, Creep can't delay 2,500 meter berries, right?
Depends on timing of 20 berries and 5A tick.
That's true, that's true.
But I think,
Actually,
wait,
that delay might
Crab's
be
almost done with that, though.
20 berries in 5A, yes.
I don't remember
Very
if Crab
close.
unlocked 2K. It's like another 20-25 seconds after the gem, so he may not have.
This is going to be so tight.
Where are you going, Crab? Okay, there's the 20 and 5A tick.
Creep did unlock power source, right?
Should have, yeah.
I hope Creep unlocked power source.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And I think Creep
Oh my goodness.
is generally favored in gameplay execution.
Well, the scary thing
Especially
is,
for
what if Creep
berries.
thinks that she can delay this?
Oh my. Oh my.
That would be the most tragic way for this to end, I think.
And worth noting, Crab did lose an objective to delaying earlier. I believe it was 6-winged. This game is completely different if he has that, I think.
Yeah. That's not to say that it would be sealed right now, but Creep would have to have made different decisions leading up to this moment.
Yeah. Having to target different synergies and prevent more objectives.
This is so... Creep is gaining time on Crab over the course of 1500, it seems.
Yes, so Creep has a 27 any% with movement that, with a little bit more time spent in full game, can get her to 26 pretty quickly. Crab, I don't remember what Crab's any% is, but it's been years since he's focused on it. Crab is very much a bingo main as far as Celeste players go.
Yes, his biggest strength is his reading, in my opinion.
Yeah, Crab's board and opponent awareness is honestly unmatched, I think.
I mean, have you heard of TrueGen?
She hasn't played bingo in years.
Let me have my nostalgia moment, okay?
Yeah. Donations, please.
I miss the old Celeste community. Back when it felt like a group of friends hanging out.
Yeah, whatever. We're not on Celeste community.
That one's just for the committee to enjoy. Oh, played it a little too tight there, and now they're even.
Oh wow, what the heck happened?
Creep just tried to greed the dash in the second last room a little too hard.
Oh man. Here we are trolling, and it's just still interesting.
But even in that room, you can see that execution advantage come into play.
Yeah, I also don't know how much Crab has been playing recently. Creep, meanwhile, is like extremely derusted because of the any% tourney.
God, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. The thing is, so if Crab gets this, of course Crab just wins. If Creep gets this, there's still a chance for Crab. It is not a done deal. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, it's impossible for Crab to make this call, but quitting out at 2.5k entry is so Giga Chad.
Actually, I don't think it's impossible to make that call. I think you only need one objective. So what you do is you quit out at 2500 and you commit to intro car, right?
Yeah, probably. Because you can presume you're less far behind to that than you are B-sides, because you've seen 1B, 4B, and Summit is only contested if Creep has 5B.
Oh my God. It's the same room again, and they make the same mistake. Oh, it's so close. And we don't know. There could be a slight desync between the players, so it could
at the
turn
start of the game.
At
the start of the game, Crab stream started a couple seconds earlier.
Oh, wait, Crab is ahead. Ah!
This is so close.
Oh, Creep is, the pressure is getting to her. I think with the, so with the amount of time it's taken, Creep knows either Crab is doing intro car or they're racing for this.
It turns green and Crab wins. What a game.
It turns green. Oh my goodness. Oh, it was so
Wow.
close too. Look at this. It's literally just a couple seconds apart. Oh my goodness. And to think, imagine if it turned purple. Like the content we would have seen with Crab trying to fight for B-sides or for intro car. I don't know what I would have done.
Celeste Lockout bingo, everyone. This is the best way to play
match.
Celeste. I think we will have the players in here shortly for Coca.
Call, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great showcase match.
Yeah, this showed an awesome balance of the challenges of mid-game routing, as well as the importance of execution in late-game races, and yeah, we got to see pretty different routes from these players and lots of difficult decisions on a board like this in mid-game. Congrats to both of you. I think you both played extremely well.
And it was a super interesting game. I loved the different routes you both took. I hope you don't mind if I ask the first question here, but Creep, I want to know what the idea was at the start and what made you think about this non-progress route to begin with.
I thought it would be good. I didn't want to commit straight to Sealand Crossing because there's not enough synergy just with those two objectives. So I thought I'd just get City Blue, delay, see if anything comes out of it. I almost got for a cassette. That was pretty close towards that. If I didn't have a few mishaps, I think I could have definitely gotten that, especially in 2A. But I just wanted to play around, see if like entering 3A early could work. Unfortunately, I didn't quite capitalize on that with not prioritizing 5 berries and 4.
Jax, you have a question?
I
got another. If you want me to, if you
yeah, keep going.
You don't
keep
mind
going.
me going again. All right. So Crab, firstly, when did you recognize the non-progress play that Creep was making, and how did you plan to break it?
Yeah, so I mean, being completely honest, I think it was as soon as City Blue Heart got ticked. That's not an objective that is typically gone for in the early game very often.
Yep.
And that basically signals to me, okay, Creep's doing some sort of non-progress oriented route that is going to be more difficult for me to play around. So the main thing that I'm looking to do is cut Creep's early game synergy. And the way that I've thought best to do would be to go into 3A. Unfortunately, I delayed 6 wing berries a little too long.
Yep.
I was actually going to ask about that next, of like, what was the reasoning behind that?
I just thought I could delay it, and clearly I was wrong. I didn't consider that creep played 3A early. So
Ah.
I thought that that would be a relatively safe objective. I also thought that creep. Well, I kind of gambled that creep would skip early winged berries, trying to get the double 4A synergy. I think that that's a good, valid route on this board. So all of that added up to me delaying 6 wings, and just a little too long. I was going to tick it right as I finished 3A start.
And creep, I forgot what I was gonna ask. I'm not gonna lie. But I wanted to ask: were y'all aware of how close potentially that 2,500 meter berries race could be?
Yes,
Because y'all were
like-
2 seconds apart at the end there.
Oh yeah, I knew it was gonna be close. I like as soon as I saw the 20 and 5A, like I know that Crab has at least 2K unlocked, if not at worst 1.5K, but likely is 2K. And I don't exactly remember. I think I was in the room in between the long rooms in 1.5K. So, but like because I have I think I have that exec difference. I think I caught up a little bit through all the way until 2.5K, and
I actually
It's
only
always-
had 1.5K unlocked, so I exec checked you.
oh okay, so
Yeah.
it's the other way.
Yeah,
around.
y'all entered virtually synced into
Yep.
1.5K.
Wow.
So
I
guess that those steps in 2K and the 2.5K the berry path just tripped me up then.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of regret not unlocking 2K. I just thought that Eco 8 would be contested, and I really was trying to confuse you with those ticks to try to sneak Pico behind you.
I think I should have gone Pico 8 instead of completing 5B. Because I really wanted late game, but in hindsight, Pico 8 just is strictly better because then like I can still complete 5B later for progress for 3B sides, or I could like just go straight to 20 and 5A, and obviously I have the farewell access still because two
Yeah.
bars and 4 was in farewell.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So the thing
I
that
read-
I was
oh, sorry,
thinking
go
about
ahead.
after you got your progress in farewell was that getting Pico 8 then becomes very valuable to you because it removes, like, again, in this late game situation, if you imagine that get the orb of Pico 8 as purple, then complete 5B sides and reach an intro card in farewell are really hard to contest objectives for Crab, right?
Yeah,
So once
I
you
definitely
got
should have done that after completing 4B.
Mhm. And sorry, Crab, go ahead with what you were gonna say.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I read 2 Binos and 4 as ticked in Summit instead of Farewell, which is why I went back into Summit when I did. I did assume that you had some Farewell progress, which is why I didn't try to multitask in the late game. Farewell and Summit. I just rushed Summit.
Yeah, that makes
Interesting.
sense.
Oh my god, this producer in my ear saying wrap it up. I have one more question that I'm not sure that you'll remember the answer for, but was there any consideration, Creep, at the start of the game to delay Forsaken City Blue Heart any longer than you did?
I wanted to. Well, obviously, I wanted to delay more, but after that too, after having like quite a big few moments in 2A, I felt that I couldn't delay it anymore.
That's
and
fair.
like there's just like good synergy to set up with that, or like it's either that or it's Theo and Crossing. So I
Makes
just
sense.
I didn't think I could delay anymore.
Well, thank you both for playing. I think it's pretty clear that all 4 of us love this format and would love to see it in a GDQ. I think that's all we have to say for now. And the video to you.